Sister Mary and Sister Theresa are walking through the park. Two thugs jump out of the bushes, throw them down, and start having their way with them. Sister Mary looks up to the heavens and says, "Forgive him, Lord, for he knows not what he does." Sister Theresa looks over at Sister Mary and says, "Mine does." A husband returns home from work one night to discover that his wife is missing. He spends the next 2 days looking for her, only to come home on the second night and find his spouse sitting in the kitchen eating some pasta. "You're alive," he cries. "Where have you been all this time?" "These 4 men kidnapped me and had wild sex with me for a week," she replies. "But you've only been gone 2 days." "Yeah, I'm just here to get something to eat." A sadist, a masochist, a murderer, a necrophile, a zoophile, and a pyromaniac are all sitting on a bench in a mental institution. "Let's have sex with a cat?" asks the zoophile. "Let's have sex with the cat and then torture it," says the sadist. "Let's have sex with the cat, torture it, and then kill it," shouted the murderer. "Let's have sex with the cat, torture it, kill it, and then have sex with it again," said the necrophile. "Let's have sex with the cat, torture it, kill it, have sex with it again, and then burn it," said the pyromaniac. There was silence, and then the masochist said, "Meow." A guy walked into a bar one day and said to the barman, "Give me 6 double vodkas." The barman says, "Wow, you must have had one hell of a day." "Yes, I've just found out my older brother is gay." The next day, the same guy came into the bar and asked for the same drinks. When the bartender asked what the problem was today, the answer came back, "I've just found out that my younger brother is gay too." On the third day, the guy came into the bar and ordered another 6 double vodkas. The bartender said, "Jesus, doesn't anybody in your family like women?" The man downed the first drink and shook his head. "Yeah, my wife." The wives of 4 presidents and prime minister are talking together about how a penis is called in their language. The wife of Tony Blair says that in England, people call it a gentleman because it stands up when women are entering. The wife of Boris Yeltsin says that in Russia, you call it a patriot because you never know if it will hit you on the front or on the back side. The wife of Chirac says that in France, you call it a curtain because it goes down after the act. Well, the wife of Clinton says in the USA, you call it a rumor because it goes from mouth to mouth. At a news conference, a journalist said to the politician running for the presidency, "Your secretary said publicly that you have a small penis. Would you please comment on this?" "The truth is," replied the politician, "that she has a big mouth." The geography of a woman. Between the ages of 18 and 21, a woman is like Africa or Australia. She is half discovered, half wild, and naturally beautiful, with bushland around the fertile deltas. Between the ages of 21 and 30, a woman is like America or Japan, completely discovered, very well developed, and open to trade, especially with countries with cash or cars. Between the ages of 30-35, she is like India or Spain, very hot, relaxed, and convinced of its own beauty. Between the ages of 35-40, a woman is like France or Argentina. She may have been half destroyed during the war, but can still be a warm and desirable place to visit. Between the ages of 40-50, she is like Yugoslavia or Iraq. She lost the war and is haunted by past mistakes. Massive reconstruction is now necessary. Between the ages of 50-60, she is like Russia or Canada, very wide, quiet, and the borders are practically unpatrolled. But the frigid climate keeps people away. Between the ages of 60 and 70, a woman is like England or Mongolia, with a glorious and all-conquering past, but alas, no future. After 70, they become Albania or Afghanistan. Everyone knows where it is, but no one wants to go there. One day, The husband exclaimed to his wife, "Your ass is getting very big. She's more than a barbecue grill." Later that night in bed, the husband makes some advances towards his wife, who completely brushes him off. "What's wrong?" he asks. She answers, "Do you really think I'm going to fire up this big-ass grill for one little weenie?" An inflatable pupil goes to his inflatable school and is having a really bad day. Bored in his history lesson, he gets up and walks out. In the inflatable corridor, he sees the inflatable headmaster walking towards him, pulls a knife out, and stabs him. He runs out of the school. As he gets outside, he thinks again, "I hate school," and pulls his knife out and stabs the inflatable school. He runs off to his inflatable home. 2 hours later, his inflatable mum is knocking at his inflatable bedroom door with the inflatable police. Panicking, inflatable boy pulls out the knife and stabs himself. Later on that evening, he wakes up in an inflatable hospital and sees the inflatable headmaster in the inflatable bed next to him. Shaking his deflated head, more in sorrow than in anger, the headmaster gravely intones, "You've let me down. You've let the school down. But worst of all, you've let yourself down." 3 guys are in a doctor's office. One is a drunk, another's a smoker, and the third's a gay guy. The doctor tells each of them that if they indulge in their bad habit one more time, they will die. Outside, they pass a bar. The drunk says, "I don't care if I die, I need a drink." The drunk goes into the bar, takes a drink, and sure enough, he drops dead. Meanwhile, the smoker and the gay guy are walking along. Then the smoker spots a lit cigarette on the sidewalk. The gay guy looks over and says, "If you bend down to pick that up, we're both dead." A blonde goes into work one morning crying her eyes out. Her boss, concerned about his employees' well-being, asks sympathetically, "What's the matter?" The blonde replies, "Early this morning, I got a phone call saying that my mother had passed away. I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Why don't you go home for the day? We aren't terribly busy. Just take the day off to relax and rest." The blonde very calmly explains, "No, I'd be better off here. I need to keep my mind off it, and I have the best chance of doing that here." The boss agrees and allows the blonde to work as usual. "If you need anything, just let me know," he says. A few hours pass, and the boss decides to check on the blonde. He looks out over his office and sees the blonde crying hysterically. He rushes out to her and asks, "Are you going to be okay? Is there anything I can do to help?" "No," replies the blonde. "I just got a call from my sister, and she said that her mom died too." My friends, if you want to watch other funny jokes, subscribe to the channel.